Right. Hey, do we have everybody that we let in?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I am Allison Brooks. I'm the State Historic Preservation Officer, and I'm responsible for this project. And I just want to issue an apology in advance before we start. Unfortunately, I'm expecting a delivery of phenobarbital this morning, and I have to sign for it. Hopefully, it doesn't come in the next half hour, but if it does, I will put myself on mute and just run out for a quick signature. Why somebody has to sign for phenobarbital, I do not understand, but just in case it shows up, I have to sign. So anyway, I'm Allison. I am the director of the Department of Archaeology and Historic Preservation, and I'm responsible for this project. Why don't we have others who are state agencies involved in this project introduce themselves? JT, I see you here.
Good morning, JT Austin. I am the Director of Natural Resources Policy and Legislative Affairs for the Governor's Office of Indian Affairs.
We have any of our other state agencies here? So just as a note, we are required to work with commerce and ecology on this project. And there's been funding for us, commerce and ecology, and not Goya. I cannot explain that to work on this project. So with that, let me open it up. And I don't know, Maravik, if you want to open it up for a minute and talk about the process and the timelines, that would be great. Oh, Fran, you just joined. Just really quickly, Fran, can you introduce yourself, please, as one of the agencies involved?
Sure thing, Allison. Morning, everybody. My name is Fran Sant. I'm with the Department of Ecology with a focus on SEPA and happy to participate in this process. Um, I do this fairly often internally at ecology. So,
Fran. All right, now I'll turn it back to Maravik. If you could quickly explain the process of how we're going to do this, the fact we extended the timeline from responses, that would be great. Thanks.
Hello, everybody. This is for the request for proposals for the model local government cultural resources ordinance. And it's been amended, so the new proposal due date is July 15th instead of June 30th. So there's extra time. Um, so the procurement schedule has been changed accordingly for that. So we're hoping to have the start date for around August 3rd for the contract. So right after proposals are due, we will be evaluating the proposals, and we're hoping to get that done by the 17th, and then announce the apparent successful contractor by the 20th. And we'll be doing debriefing the couple days after that. So I know somebody I know somebody had submitted questions about the deadline getting extended, so that happened, and the procurement schedule being updated accordingly. So, does anybody have any other questions about the contract?
Let me just give some background. So for those of you that don't know, this proposal came out of a proviso, meaning the legislature put this in DAHP's budget. It's for $175,000 to do the work. The work is in the RFP, so you can see it. The model ordinance that's being considered is not in legislation. The ordinance will be given to the legislature. What they do with it, we don't know. Whether it will be SEPA exemptions, we have no information on how the legislature will use the result of this project. But in any case, we are required to do this project, and we are required to Amber just said something. We are required to do this project, and we are required to have it done by, I believe, June 30th, 2027. So with that, I will open it up to other questions. Mary, you have a question.
Yeah, thank you. Two, one on logistics and one on content. So Maravik, and anyone who's involved in extending the deadline, thank you so much. We are more used to a month to prepare proposals, and we just really appreciate it. In the first In the update, I noticed you did add a little bit of extra text in addition to the dates, like what the additional reporting requirement will be. I was wondering if you could tell us if there's any other updates in the most recent version, just in case we're skimming and scanning and don't see it. And then the question for Allison is to make sure that I understand what is meant by model ordinance. So in past work, we've developed model ordinances with associations that can be implemented at the local level, let's say a city or county level. But
Do
it
that.
sounds like this model ordinance is something else.
No,
Those
no,
two questions.
it's a
Oh,
model ordinance. You can take it and implement it in your local government if you would like. There's nothing to stop
okay.
you. Law doesn't say
Okay.
you can't use it in other ways. It's just
Okay.
something that we are required to give to the legislature for their consideration.
I see.
As for, do we have to have an hourly rate? Yes, we do. There's a lot of state rules, especially around ensuring there's no fraud. We have to show how the consultant is using hours. They have to show their hours that we've worked on the project, etc. Again, we don't have the authority to issue sort of a flat fee and say, you get $150,000, please, here's for the full project, just hand it in. We have to show how the money is spent. We have to make sure that if there's any travel, it's done under state rates. There's a lot of requirements in state law around how we show that there has not been any fraud and we meet DES requirements. Okay, other questions?
Hey, Allison, it's Michelle over at Burke. How are you? I just wanted to confirm on that rate question. So in the table, it does say 175. Are you guys looking to cap us at 175?
Whatever in the RFP is what is there.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? No, nothing?
Oh, could I get a response on that just from Maravik if there were any other updates to the current RFP other than the dates and that piece on reporting requirements?
Yeah, those are the only updates right now.
Oh, so I see somebody put a question in the chat. So I think some of this is coming in a chat, so I'm not seeing it. What level of engagement does DAHP envision? So there is a list of groups that you have to talk to, whether you do it virtually or in person, you need to let us know. But yes, the legislature put in a very large group that requires consultation, and that includes all tribes, the building industry, for Terra. I mean, there's a really big list. We did not make that list. That list came from the legislature, so that it is an absolute requirement. We cannot alter it. We will obviously want notes from your meeting so that when the model ordinance is done, we understand what we can do based on comments and what we can't do.
And for that, documenting who we'd talk to and all that, I imagine people's comfort or ability to have recorded sessions is going to vary. So
Yeah,
you would
you don't have to
trust.
record it. We have
Okay.
to have your notes, but we
Understood.
absolutely have to have, again, think of it as we have to have documentation to prove this work was completed and done, and that's what we are looking for.
Understood. Thank you.
Will the consultant coordinate and facilitate with the tribes? Yes, it will be the consultant unless the tribes ask another way. We don't have the time or the staff. So yes, the consultant is expected to do the work. Mayor has another question.
Yeah, so usually when we work, we use a co-design approach. So we're co-creating the ordinance with the stakeholders, but we'd also be coordinating the co-writing with you and with Fran and with JT. So I just wanted to check in. Is co-design and a lot of consultation something that you all would like, or would you prefer to just go off, do it, send us a
We
report
will
every
try to
month?
set up regular meetings so we know where you are, what you're thinking, what we're seeing from the community, etc. So we'll set up something regular so it's not a surprise performance at the end. it's a regular discussion with everybody. There's a question about the billing. Maravik, can you answer that?
Okay, let's see. Can hours exceed 70 per month at a lower rate as long as the maximum compensation per month does not exceed $12,250? Yes, you can do that. That'll be fine.
Maravik, Matthew had another contracting question.
Okay, the period of performance is 10 months, August 2026 to May 2027. Per month monthly billing max is $12,250. So is the total max compensation in fact $122,500? The max compensation is actually $155,000.
Okay, Amber had a question. So the way we see it working is the consultant will go out, gather all this information from the stakeholders. We will be meeting along the way to see what we're hearing. Then we would expect the consultant to work with us to prepare a draft ordinance. It will be a draft. And Fran and JT and others will decide if when we're comfortable with that ordinance, or we'll finish it up ourselves. And then we will provide it to the legislature for their review. They can keep it, they can change it. You know, once we hand this ordinance over to the legislature, the state agencies are done. What the legislature decides to do with it is the business of the legislature. Again, I have no information about how that ordinance will be used at the state level, at the state legislative level. Mary, you have another question.
Yeah. Do you have a sense of the willingness of the legislature or legislative staff to be involved in co-design and co-writing? Because just like you don't want a surprise at the end, we don't want to give the legislature a surprise at the end. So any sense of that?
No, I can ask Catherine Meninga, but my hunch is they gave it to us for a reason. They're like, you do it, and then we'll look at it towards the end. We might ask a staff person to come in. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do in terms of legislative relations, because really it was done as, here's a project, it's due at this time. We don't generally give draft reports to the legislature at all. They usually go through the governor's office and then they go direct to the legislature. Who will serve as the final decision maker? The final decision maker is the legislature. I mean, we give our best model ordinance that we worked with the consultant on. And again, what the legislature chooses to do after that, or local governments could take it and say, oh, look at this model ordinance. It's good here and there, but we decide we want to change it for our own purposes. They have the legal right to do that. So this is not necessarily a concrete document. So what agencies are giving input? The legislature has picked out Commerce, Ecology, Goya, and DAHP to be working on this. This is actually in the budget law. Commerce, Ecology, Goya, and DAHP. Hey, Allison, have the tribes been notified that the consultant? I don't have a consultant to notify them yet. As soon as we get the consultant and the project gets going, yes, we will be notifying. Most of the tribal lobbyists are very well aware of the DAP's budget and the fact that this is in there. Has DAP collected? No, we have not started. The reason that we're hiring a consultant is we do not have the staff or the time to do this project. We are expecting to have over 20,000 project submittals to our staff this year. Plus, we are looking at budget reductions. So, no, the reason we are hiring a consultant is because we do not have the staff or time to do this type of research. So, the collection of the ordinances that are in place now will be the responsibility of the consultant. Mary, you have a question.
Yeah, to get a sense of bandwidth and preferences for the process, Fran and JT, you're in the stakeholder group and you're on the call, so anything you'd like to share?
I don't-
want to be, go ahead. I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
JT, go ahead.
No, Fran, please go ahead.
No, I want to be supportive of the process and do what we can to help facilitate the review. And that's our role. At least that's what I consider our role to be. So,
Yep. Agreed. Nothing to add there. Thank you. Thanks, Fran.
Okay, other questions anybody may have? Again, I'll say this again, this is a project that came from the legislature without any information as to the intent of legislators and what they want to do with this once they receive it. And again, it's a model ordinance, so nothing stops a local government from using it or changing it or editing it as long as they go through their own local process. So, any other questions?
Yeah, I had a quick question. There was talk of an extended deadline. Where can we reliably find updated RFP materials? I'd been on the DAHP website and actually had to track it down somewhere else other than that email link that I first got last week.
Maravik, can you let Marlis know where that is?
Sure. You can find it in the website. I can put it in the chat for you.
I posted it on our website link. I just posted in the chat.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Any other questions? No? Okay, well, thank you all for having an interest in this project. I think it'll be a good one. We'll see where this goes. We'll find out in next legislative session what people want to do with this. And I'll give you a couple of seconds to see if there's any other questions. Going once, going twice. Oh, Joshua's here from Commerce. Joshua, did you want to say anything about Commerce's role?
Nothing that Fran and JT already said. Happy to support, looking to support.
Okay. All right. Well, you can always contact us later. So thank you for having an interest in our project. We really appreciate it. And it'll be very interesting. Thanks, everyone.